Hello, Jen Gilchrist here, the host here of the Soul Inspired Leaders Collective Facebook group. Super excited to have you guys joining me for this powerful time, right? I've been really feeling it's so important for us to really be able to let go of the past, right? Let go of the hurt, let go of things and really find that level of forgiveness with people from our past, right? With our family. A lot of us, especially, if you're enlightened and aware on this path, then we have incarnated with family that we definitely have karma with. We have relationships, like part of our life purpose or part of our incarnation is a lot around releasing and moving through karma and karmic patterns. And so it really does require us to get to this space of forgiveness. Hey, Natalie, thanks for joining. And so it's important to really get to that space of forgiveness. Now, it does not mean that we accept the behavior as okay and be doormats and, always see the love and light in people, which I'm sure many of us have had that pattern, right, of that codependency where we have just given, and, perhaps maybe not feel valued or maybe just taken things in a way in relationships that aren't really acceptable. So it's not about accepting the behavior that's toxic from somebody, but it really is about releasing you from the toxicity of holding that emotion repressed within you. Hey, Susan, thanks for joining. So yeah, this is really important to connect with, right? So thanks for the love and the hearts, guys. And we're at the end of a Mercury retrograde right now. So we're still kind of at this tail energy of releasing. So we're going to work with that universal energy, right? Working with the cosmic energy of what's going on. It's super powerful. And then on Friday, we have the new moon. So this just like the more that we can let go of and spend the time with this, we can really open up space for that new moon, that next level soul's desires in all areas of your life. And so I wanted to guide us through a process together today. It's always very powerful to do together, right? It always just magnifies the healing. Oh, I love all the emojis, fun. And really release. I'm going to also work with the violet fire energy. I've been feeling that lately a lot for myself. I've been aware of this energy as a healing, as a clearing, but it's been coming up much more prevalent. And it really is a lot about transmuting karma. So that'll be really, really awesome as well. What else do I want to say? I want to just maybe pull a card or two. Can I take a second for people to jump on, and that way we'll get some guidance and then we'll dive into the meditation. You might want to have paper and pen. You don't have to. You can just follow along, but sometimes, you might want to write insights depending on how this goes. I'm just kind of going with the flow here. But the romance angels are coming out because we also are heading this right now for a lot of people. Relationship things came up. Money things came up, which love and money are always tied in terms of our ability to receive it, and also really stepping more fully into the leadership of our purpose work. At the end of this Venus retrograde that we were in, those are the cycles and patterns, and then we had this retrograde to reflect and release, and then, that's what we're going to work on. So I chose the romance angels. Also, I've been really feeling ignited to expand my business into activating twin flame unions and soulmate unions and conscious love reunions for people. So it's coming up very strong. So express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So this is interesting. This is like expressing love. So this feels like this heart chakra energy is like, oh, get into your heart. I mentioned this on a previous somewhere, but basically like spending time with your heart chakra. This is really a heart chakra healing today that we're doing in this forgiveness work. But also it's about embodying unconditional love, right? And it starts with self-love. And so really just breathing through your heart, expanding our heart and our high heart, right? A lot of us are really getting aware of this upper chakra, fifth dimensional chakra system that's expanding and opening up beyond the 7 chakras that we most people are really aware of. And so if you're not aware of that, it's like your heart and your high heart. And this is really powerful. And you can practice activating that more just by simply noticing how open is your heart. Can you open it further? Like where's that barometer set point? Because we tend to have it kind of closed off sometimes. Our natural set point is not all the way open, right? So it's practicing resetting. How open can your heart be? And expressing your love. So to yourself, to others, perhaps if you are in a relationship or in a situation, maybe it's time to express more authentically, being vulnerable with your feelings, being more willing to be intimate. It's like deepening that intimacy with others, but also first with yourself, right? So this is expressing love and to others and just radiating love into the world. As light workers, that's part of what we're doing, right? We're healing the planet by embodying that level of love. And so when we do that, even if we're not speaking to people, we are changing by our presence the people around us, initiating them into higher levels of healing as well. So that's really powerful. Religious factors. So for some of you, this is going to be a little bit of reading for relationship, but also for yourself. Okay, I'm going to read it both ways. And then we only got 2 more cards, and then we're going to dive into the meditation. Hopefully maybe you have pen and paper in case you need it, but you may not. I don't know. I'm just kind of letting it go through me. But your love life is influenced by your religious and spiritual upbringing. So for a couple of you, actually, the first thing I'm seeing is kind of that twin flame, that soulmate, divine order type of relationship, right? Like that's actually this, it's divinely guided. So it feels like very spiritual in nature, right? And then for some of you, there could be an actual block around this in terms of perhaps religious programming or differences in religion. Like that just could be a factor. Not that it's a problem, of course, but it's just to address, where's your own judgment, or where are we kind of allowing our beliefs and their beliefs that may not be a little bit exactly the same to be, to release that judgment and be transmuted. Actually, but I'm mostly feeling this is more of not a block. It's more of actually confirming that this is a spiritual connection, right? This is a spiritual connection that you see, and it's divinely orchestrated, divinely timed. So release the timing for those that aren't with them yet. But if you are with them, then it's really just like, and I'm seeing this Christ energy. It's so interesting. A lot of what I'm noticing, ladies, I've been being called to channel Christ consciousness, that gold ray of Christ consciousness, and embodying that unconditional love. And Jesus has been a big part of this for like the last 6 months in my this next level of awakening for me, and really guiding this twin flame journey that I'm experiencing. So that's interesting. So keep an open mind. So maybe keep an open mind to what this is for you. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectation. So that is kind of where the religious factors or different upbringings or different beliefs may be causing a little conflict, because maybe I feel like part of the core for you, it doesn't have to be a problem. It's about healing the problem, right? So part of it is where you may be feeling not truly seen and validated for your spirituality. Maybe they're a little bit more pragmatic in their thinking, or don't quite understand all the, the spiritual woo-woo stuff or something like that. And so maybe that makes you feel unseen or unvalued. So really that's calling us into our deeper work with ourselves. Around that, and that will open it up, and it'll kind of dissolve that conflict, right? And releasing our judgment about them or not being seen. I know I had this with my family a lot, being raised Christian. I always was close with Jesus and Mary and the angels, but I was feeling like I was being judged by the devil's got a hold of me. Like when my psychic abilities opened up, all of a sudden, like my family just thought like the devil got me or something. And they prayed really hard. And so that's important to understand too, like our own judgments that we have about religion, or about where we're not being seen in our relationships, right? With family even. Okay, and keep an open mind, right? So keep an open mind, because your soulmate might be different than you think, because maybe they're not as spiritual as you thought they would be initially, but they will be, because they're your counterpart. And this is divinely guided and orchestrated, and your soul's already it's almost like a soul contract to really experience this together and heal together. So that's exciting. Let's go ahead and dive in. I know Facebook takes a minute, so I wanted to give everyone a second to hop on and get grounded and give a few messages. But let's just dive right into the forgiveness work. You can go ahead and close your eyes. If I would suggest closing your eyes if you can, or obviously come back to this if you can't be present, because you'll get more out of it. But let's just go ahead and close your eyes together. Hand on your heart if you can, just to kind of take a couple nice deep breaths in. And exhale. Another nice big deep breath in. And exhale. One more breath in. And exhale. Beautiful. When you just take a moment, just allow yourself to feel yourself being grounded. I like to take a moment to really ground into this, into your body. So go ahead and imagine that line of energy, just golden light, perhaps to keep it simple, or whatever you'd like, at the base of your spine, at that first chakra, down through your earth chakra, into the center of the planet, and opened up nice and wide. The earth chakra is being more activated in this 5th dimensional ascension process. So it's really powerful to connect with. And just allow yourself to release. Really allow that earth energy, that loving, heart-centered earth energy of Mother Earth come up through the bottom of your feet. You can open up those feet chakras nice and wide. And just allow that energy, you might see or feel it, come up through your legs, through your ankles, through your knees, through your legs, through your hips. And really act as a cleansing, like flushing out of your body, down your grounding cord, everything that's not serving. Really allowing that energy to continue to move up through your body and be a healing for your chakras and your heart, your physical body, anywhere that emotions are being held. And perhaps releasing any unconscious energy that is stopping you from acknowledging or knowing that it's there if you're ready to feel it and let it go. And now I want you to just imagine from the top of your head at your crown, 7th chakra, going up through all of your higher self, your upper out of body chakras, also being activated more fully now in this ascension time. So if you're aware of them or not, it doesn't matter. Just trusting that you're going through that divine line up through to your higher self, your I am presence, through up to the heart of creation, to God, to source, to love. And again, just opening up nice and wide. And when you do this, you're really creating a solid alignment with that higher truth of who you are. Beautiful. I kind of keep my eyes open and closed, so just relax into it. And I want you to just take a moment, and we're going to set your intention just real quick, simply just set your intention for this time together. How do you want to feel? Is there already that you know somebody in particular you're wanting to let go of or forgive? Just kind of set your intention for I also want you to include how you want to feel or how you want to expand yourself and your ability to receive on the other side of this. Just want you to recognize or imagine now, I already kind of have the energy set with this beautiful violet fire, this violet flame energy around our entire circle, whether you're on the replay or with us right now. There's creating space of this circle that we're all creating together in agreement to support each other's highest good and health and healing. And really acknowledging the divinity in each and every one of you. That truth of your divine self and that God within. We're really going to open that access point even more fully, I feel, so that you can recognize yourself more fully, and you can also have that reflection of people recognizing you more fully. Yeah, really being seen. I love how that came up in the cards, and I'm seeing it now in the energy. So really just allowing that violet flame energy, it could be like a campfire in the middle of us to just throw things out if you want to, but really I see it actually extending and really embodying our entire circle as this pillar of light from the center of the universe, the center of Mother Earth, all the way up into that source of divine love and wisdom, God's source, however you view that. And it's just kind of embodying all of us to really burn off and let go of those things that are not serving. And also Archangel Michael, Archangel Haniel. I've really been working a lot with Jesus, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene. We'll see if anybody else comes in, but they're all kind of holding space on the outside of the circle as well. So you can really just feel safe and sink into just letting go. Trusting that whatever awareness you need to have will come, whether it's now or in the future. And just continuing to breathe. You might even want to continue to keep your hand on your heart, maybe even one on your belly, because a lot of our energy gets caught in our 2nd chakra, or that 1st chakra gets triggered with love and money as well in that space. So that'll help you kind of stay grounded in your body. And your hands are natural healers too. So reminding that you're running this energy through you for yourself as well. As I'm holding space for everyone. And so are all the angels and all of that beautiful energy. So now I want you to start with just asking the question. you know. This is where, I don't know how it's going to go exactly, but you may end up wanting to jot some of these things down. But right now, stay in the meditation if it feels good, or if it feels good to journal, you can, but almost feel like journaling it out at the end. But just feel, who is it that I need to forgive right now to be in alignment with my soul's desires, right? And just allow the picture of the person's face. You might get a vision or a thought or a name or an idea of somebody you weren't even expecting. Or if it's something that's fresh, maybe it's, exactly what it is, and you've been struggling with letting go of the toxicity or the anger or the hurt or the grief. Mm-hmm. Just notice who that is. It might be a couple of people. This is where this process of sometimes like when I did this in Carmel, I literally came up with 12 people back to back to back to back in a 2-hour period. But right now, whatever comes up, just trust that your higher self can work multidimensionally. But I want you to kind of focus on the one or probably the one or two that you want to actually have the intention for right now. Knowing that the others, may get released as well, but you might want to take the time at a future date, listen to this again, and work this individually for them. So we're just going to work with that first person that comes up. I don't know, I'm an overachiever. Just kidding. But I always end up, when somebody tells me pick one, I always pick 2. So that's fine. Whatever. If you work that way, you may too. I'm always like, more, let's do more healing. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm kind of talking soft. Okay, so you got your person now, and I want you to take a moment and really acknowledge what you're feeling. I want you to feel in your body where the energy is maybe stuck, right? Like where is the emotion in your body? You might be noticing as you tune your awareness to your body, where is the energy stuck in your body? Might be at a chakra, it might be in your tension of your neck. It could just be anywhere, and you may or may not notice. That's okay. And just want to bring your awareness to where is that energy stuck? Where is the core emotion physically in your system, or energetically? It's both, but it will manifest in that same space usually. So feel in the body. And then just go there. If it's comfortable, you can place your hands there. Again, your hands are natural healers. You can even call in the angels, or Archangel Michael, or Jesus, or Mary, to work with you through your hands to help raise that vibration. I'm kind of doing that as the group as well. I like to run energy while calling in energy, while reading the energy. I kind of do it together. But really, you can call in that energy to work with you through you. Right? Your hands are natural healers. So begin to allow yourself to release whatever is stuck. And acknowledge, really feel, what is that feeling that you feel? What is your feeling towards this person? It could be anger, it could be sadness, whatever it is. It's no judgment. Anything that you feel is perfect. It's all about healing this inner child, healing the inner, the wound. Not bypassing it. Beautiful. And I want you to just take a moment to sit there, and this is where you could, however you feel called to do this, let this be an individual experience. You can in your mind just kind of think what it is you would want to say to the person, the things that you're feeling, let that emotion speak in terms of, well, what is it wanting to say? What is it feeling? What did it never get to actually express? What is it that you may have been denying or hiding from even yourself, or not speaking to that person? Beautiful. So just really connect that energy. Let's just call in, just imagine that violet flame really helping you transmute and heal, any of this for you, any of the karma, any of the pain, any of the inability to acknowledge it fully, so that you can let it go. You can also imagine putting that person into the violet flame, right? It's just transmuting back to love. It's not going to hurt the person, of course. It's just about healing the distortion, the dysfunction, the karma, the fear, the anger, which also frees them. It gives them the opportunity. Now, people got free will of choice, so it may take them a little longer, but honestly, as you heal yourself, they don't have to even have awareness of this. They don't have to have forgiveness for you to release your part of this karmic pattern or cycle or agreement. You can just choose it. But in you choosing it, it gives them the opportunity to be set free. And now that may or may not happen. It may take longer. It may be instantaneous, but that's a good thing, right? You're surrendering it up and allowing healing to occur. And just as an interesting perspective, sometimes this can be towards God. It can be this, you could be doing this with yourself, with money, right? Sometimes if we feel like something happened that felt unfair or unjust, you might be angry with quote unquote God, right? Our perception may have not have been as open as it is now when that happened. And that's where the energy got lodged from that victimized space or being angry. Like, why did you have to take this person? I felt like that when my grandpa died when I was 10. I was angry. Or I was sad. I was kind of just pissed because he was my lifeboat, And I didn't realize that. But there was a little bit of anger, even at my grandpa for leaving, right? Which doesn't seem logical. None of this feels logical sometimes. So I'm just giving you different ideas to play with. But all of that is a block to us really owning our power, owning our love, our ability to have our heart open, which affects your ability to receive in all areas of your life. It's coming up like I need to do this with the IRS. I still have not gotten totally neutral to writing the IRS checks. And it's like, okay, it's not, I need to, work on that. Because it's lack otherwise, right? It's not healthy. So that's been kind of a funny one I haven't done, but keeps coming up. Beautiful. Now you can stay in this space and do this all via meditation style if you want, but I kind of feel like if you have pen and paper, now's a good time. Like I'm going to keep running the energy for the group, but actually just take a minute to write out what you notice. Like write out your letter, just take even just a couple of minutes to start to really get out on paper that. Because the more senses we use, the more we actually are processing and releasing the energy and bringing it and grounding it and anchoring it and integrating that, releasing into our physical experience, right? So we do a lot in the spiritual realm, but we really need to anchor and ground it. And that's one thing that I know often is missing in the spiritual work, right? I mean, immediately things can happen, but this is just going to help, especially if there's a big charge. So write out, what you became aware of, where the feeling was. Was it somebody that surprised you? Perhaps other people popped up that you didn't realize may have been a factor that you can come back to, right? So you can remember. So I'm just going to give you a minute to kind of write out that letter, whatever awarenesses popped up, and maybe any other people that could be a reminder to come back to, because we often quickly forget these things. And my intention is to really just keep having the angels, you can call this in for yourself too, in the violet flame, to really just continue to transmute deeper and deeper levels of this acceptance of that. And then eventually, we want to get to, after we start to release that intense anger or emotion onto the paper, we also sometimes, depending on the scenario, I think always, need to also forgive ourselves, right? Forgive ourselves for our part within it, seeing, how this made us grow. You may or may not be able to get there right now, but it's like really forgiving yourself, like for instance, in abusive relationships for staying in it, right? For staying in it, for betraying yourself in that way. And And then as you do that, as you begin to really forgive even yourself and the person and then release that emotional charge, you'll begin to get to like the gift, right? We don't need to create through such trauma and turmoil, but often we do, because we weren't willing to see it without it. But the more that we do this work, the more smoother, like the growth doesn't have to be so painful, because there's always something like we're reclaiming our power in some way, right? So eventually, you might even want to ask for the awareness of, well, what was the gift? Like what did you actually gain, or how did you grow, or how were you being called to grow through this experience that's often painful with other people? Like really, when we can get to that gift and that blessing and understanding, we can have more neutrality and release and at an even deeper level. And really breathe into that. I feel a lot of energy releasing off the heart. Like, just releasing that blame and that victim energy, because we all have it, but really it's like we've given away a part of our power within that, right? So I really just see this opening the heart. So I'm really working with you on holding your heart space open. It's like I see like arrows coming out, backstabbing, like betrayal, like really intense betrayal and pain, feeling lied to, or just interesting, a lot of healing on that heart space in the back for sure. Beautiful. So, you can even read this out loud. Like, it's a beautiful thing. You may not have time to do that now, but I suggest we're going to do one more energy clearing piece, and then I'll give you the next steps, I guess. In my forgiveness activity, which I'll put in the group, it's like the next thing would be to sit down and read this out loud to the person. So you can feel free to do that now, to like actually read out loud. Imagine a person sitting across from you, and speaking it out loud is going to heal that fifth chakra, especially for women, but not only women, actually everyone. Because there's a lot of men who have felt the same way, where they've given and not been appreciated. So given up their power in some way, right? So just express what you want to express by reading that out loud. And imagine that the person is sitting across from you. And while you're doing that, I'm working with the angels to work with you on your fifth chakra as well. So it's that fourth chakra, and then moving up to that fifth chakra, feeling safe to speak your truth. Being more authentic and vulnerable in your communication. Feeling safe. I feel like that's a big part of this. Feeling safe speaking your truth. For many of you. Especially if there's like abusive relationships, or just like feeling like maybe even with bosses, you have to take a certain amount of crap to make the money. There's all kinds of patterning, but I feel like there's a lot of relationship stuff going on right now. Like past relationship stuff. So now we're going to have Archangel Michael work with you. You can almost see that person. So imagine that person standing in front of you. And I want you to have Archangel Michael give him permission, or ask him to support you in releasing any cords at the very, very, very root. Any energetic ties, emotional, energetic, mental, physical, like any ties that are not serving out of fear. To just be released at the core, at the very core. Like, what is your picture, your responsibility within this? Has really nothing to do with this person or that situation. When we go far enough into the healing, it's really about not feeling valuable, not feeling seen. There's always that core thing. And that's really what we want to get to, that awareness of, so that we can take that gem, take that piece, integrate it, and then no longer need to attract scenarios or situations to point that out, right? So see that person, allow Archangel Michael to work with you to release the karma. That violet fire is releasing that karma as well. And now I want you to just turn around and walk away. Like, don't look back, right? You just turn around and you can just walk away. You can just let it go. Let the drama go. Let the pain go. Let the toxicity go, right? You're turning a new leaf, basically. You're turning to the light. You're turning to love. right? And now I see Jesus really working with bringing in that energy of unconditional love. It vibrates at this, I see gold for Jesus, like that Christ consciousness energy coming in, but also this soft pink, like a pink ray of light coming in at a gold, I see a lot of gold, and almost like this pale pink really coming into your space and really filling up everywhere you let go of. Really bringing in that vibration of love. I'm going to ask him to anchor that in all the different layers. Your physical body, your etheric, your emotional, mental, physical, spiritual bodies. And really just filling you up now with all of your own highest essence, right? Your soul self. Just really imagine all of your energy from the past, like taking your energy back from the past, or perhaps the future, but I feel like most of this is past. And pulling it into your physical space, like really just watching it pour into your head and like filling up every part of your body, your aura, which goes beneath your feet even, and reclaiming that and reclaiming your power within that at a higher vibration of knowing your value, knowing your power, knowing you're loved, knowing you're lovable, and knowing your true divinity, knowing your true self. And really having a healing, I feel, on being able to express that and to show that to the world and in your relationships with others, but also to yourself. And this will shine through your business as well, in all of your relationships. And it will attract people and situations that will see you and value you more for who you truly are. But we have to be willing to have the courage to show it, right? So it's kind of like a multi-thing happening. The last thing I'm noticing is they're working with you on really like updating your Akashic records. I work a lot in the Akashic records. So you can just, with your intention, ask either the angels or, we all have Akashic records keeper, with that can help you just bring all that karma into present time, right? Just definitely you can just set that intention as easy as that and it will happen. Beautiful. And you can go ahead and open your eyes. Kind of got to be a little longer than I was thinking, but you never know. I just let it go. And another thing I suggest doing, the third step in this, is really to burn the letter, right? Burn the letter, just like that's another way you can do it. I have that forgiveness freebie around. I talked about it on my personal wall, which kind of is that step of just who do you need to forgive, writing out the letter, burning it, having the energetic support. But I wanted to go a little deeper with you. The meditation in that forgiveness freebie is different, but it'd probably be good as well. It's called, as Archangel Haniel, Archangel Michael, Finding Peace and Letting Go. But this time it's kind of like it was coming up, it's always different healings depending on who's here and where I'm at, right? I made that meditation a couple of years ago. So it was really a lot around expressing the truth of who you are, right? This feels like it's creating deeper levels of intimacy and deeper levels of authenticity in your relationships and in your business and how you're showing up and how you're being seen. So that's really, really, really powerful. Yay. Awesome. Oh, the other thing too, that some of you, because of how the energy came through actually, is I do have another, I think I might do them monthly. I'm going to see how it goes. But last month went really, really well with the soul purpose alignment activity. So I created another one this month. And the theme ended up being more for twin flame soulmate relationship scenarios. And it was all about self-love, this topic that we just did a lot of, deeper activations and reading and healing on self-love, on your twin flame or soulmate relationship, and also just coming into union if you're not with that person. And if you are with that person, then it's like even deeper levels of kind of that intimacy, that connection, that love, and how that can possibly be part of your purpose work together, right? For twin flames, it often is, or pretty much is, right? So it's about embodying self-love. And so I have on special for a couple of days for $11. I got lots of amazing feedback. It's a 30-minute reading, 30-minute healing. So it's even deeper levels of this kind of the theme that we worked on today. So that worked out perfectly, of course, right? So if that feels like you're like, ding, ding, then there's that's available. Put the link in here when I'm done. And then it goes up to $22 over the weekend. It shifts pricing. So I wanted to give you guys in my community first shot at just having that, if it vibes with you. I've been getting lots of good feedback on the last one and felt really inspired to do another one, and I just allowed the thing to come through, and this time it was definitely more towards that love relationship, that twin flame journey. And that twin flame journey is ultimately us loving ourselves, our unconditional love, embodying unconditional love, spreading that love into the world through our purpose work, and then of course experiencing that with our partner, which is amazing. So that's really exciting to be a part of. And yeah, so that's what that is. Thank you guys for joining me. I look forward to talking with you all soon. And I'm going to leave this replay in here. So if you have any friends that you think that this would benefit, feel free to invite them to the group in the right-hand bar there, Soul Inspired Leaders Collective group. You can invite your friends. If you tag them, they won't show up unless they're a member already. And then if I might put this, I don't know if I'm going to put this on YouTube or not. Part of me is kind of like creating this YouTube channel. I'm feeling guided to expand my YouTube presence. I've never done that yet. I knew for a while, but I didn't know how I wanted to. And I'm going to put my twin flame journey. I'm going to have a playlist specific for twin flames there. I'm here to activate twin flame unions, but it's going to be everybody in the world could use this information because it's all about conscious love, soul aligned love, soulmate love, embodying self love and unconditional love, right? And so I'm going to have a playlist for that there. So I may put this up there for a bit as well. So if that's where you're finding it, then you can also see in the description below links to join us in my Facebook group. So I'll do that both ways. So I feel like as I'm talking out loud, yes, that's going to happen. So, all right, have a great day, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.